Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Go here. Welcome back to Planet Coaster, working on our first theme park, RallyLand. Last time we left off doing some more Finland expansions. In fact, we started designing a new roller coaster for the Finland area that is starting to get rather full. It's actually reaching what I would consider to be the edge of our plot. We have quite a bit of space left over here, and to be honest, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this space just yet. But what I do know is I want to add one last roller coaster into the Finland area that we designed last episode. I have a theme for the scenery in mind, good and ready to go. And I have, as you see at the bottom left, almost $41,000 in the bank to fund that project. So hopefully we don't have to do a lot of sitting around and waiting for finances to get that done. One of the other major things I would like to do today is redesign and reimagine the Dino Pull ride. This ride became into an existence solely to try and reduce the anger. I was looking for the words, but the anger that is the fact that this queue for the go-kart track is always full. It's not doing so great at it. And despite having pretty decent scores, and, it's an okay ride by most standards, it's not super profitable and not very popular. And I think I have a reimagining of what that ride should and could be. So I do suppose our first order of business should be placing the blueprinted ride that we created last time. Should be in here, yes, and it is the Finland Fling, a very expensive ride, but it has extremely good ratings. A 7.81, I believe, is the highest excitement of any ride in our park so far. It is also somewhat high in the nausea rating, but not terribly so. So let's see where we can get this in here. I would prefer to have the, what's that thing called? The station as close to this go-kart track as I can physically put it. And if it gets intertwined with the other rides in Finland, that's just fine. An interesting problem I'm running into is that even though we blueprinted this ride to plunge through the earth, it doesn't seem like placing it will do that terrain modification. We'll have to dig out that land and then fill in around it. So right here, yeah, it looks like right about there is as close as we're gonna get. So right in this area we need to just make a big pit. That's not bad, that's not bad. I can fill that back in. It doesn't plunge as deep into the ground as I had once intended it to be, Sean Connery. So it's going to look a little bit different, but the theme that I came up with for this one is to incorporate that big lake that we see in Finland in Dirt Rally. So the big lake lined with trees, and maybe we could even incorporate this crater we just made into that design. So that's a pricey one. That took about half of our budget so far. Let's go ahead and actually pause the park at this point. And let's place our entrance and exit and all of that good stuff. Get it ready to go here. Is this... I think what I had done is exit on the other side. I did. I think I did that because I found out that it makes the ride go a little bit quicker doing that, getting people on and off. But at this juncture, I'm not sure that was totally necessary. You know, it's actually quite a hike out to this ride, so it might have the same problem this one's having, Dino Pull, and not drawing enough people over there. But the ratings are so good for this ride, it shouldn't be a problem. And I'll try to do some good scenery up on this path to it. And in fact, we may even put another ride right here. There's plenty of room for it. And we've got some other stuff to put in. What we completely lack in the Finland area is any kids rides or any family rides, so we might put something like that over there just to try and make the people happy. Oh, now that's pretty neat. So I made that area into a lake. I extended it down, But then I made this nice little cliff that goes over the lake where the coaster dips through. That's pretty cool looking. I am pleased with that. Alright, some nice over-the-top cheery music to bring us into a ride with scenery. I haven't looked at the scenery rating. Actually, it doesn't probably have one yet because the ride doesn't have a rating yet. But yeah, I like the lake theme came out pretty nice, and with the added in cliff here over the lake, it's pretty cool looking. I'm happy with that. For a ride that is pretty much airborne, there's only so much you can really do with the scenery on these guys. I am not displeased. It does need testing, however, and let's go for a ride with it. Let's unpause the park. We only have $15,000 left in the bank, so this was a expensive one. That is for sure. Theft is happening. Haven't been able to really stop that. So let's get testing, and let's get riding. This riding experience probably not going to be quite as fantastic as it was in the sandbox mode, since this park is so full. It is starting to get to the point where my computer cannot quite handle it, which is unfortunate. Speedy cable lift to the top, and it should like lunge us over the top instead of really slowly bringing us over the top. Oh yeah. So yeah, the scenery on the side is pretty mundane. We'll have to fill that in later. But then as we start to get to this side, we're more worried about, you know, the actual ride itself, but it starts to fill in. The scenery is just fine. Trying to add some triggered water splashes in the lake over there. We'll see if those worked out. Can't see them at all. I'll have to make them much earlier, I think, and then we'll be able to see them. It's a bit of a sharp banking transition too, and I think it's this one. Yeah, that is pretty sharp. 785, 572, 305, pretty much the same scores, and we complete the challenge of a 45-meter drop. Economic turn is no longer new. That is fine. We'll take that $1,000 right now. Thank you. We'll need it. And yeah, let me work on that banking transition right here. Oh, I see. Because this is all one big piece here. That's just as soon as it will possibly bank it. That's okay. That is fine. We'll live with that. However, the trigger point, I would like to move that up a little bit. Where is that guy? Edit. It is currently here. We'll put it here. I think you can time delay. No, we don't want a time delay. We would want it to be a negative time delay, so we'll just move the trigger point back. Let's see if we can then see it. I like the view right there where you see the whole lake in front of you, and you kind of pause a bit. Even then, you just barely start to see the splashes. Just back them up a little bit more, and that'll be good to go. That should be good. The Finland Fling should be ready to open. Let's make this thing cost, I would say, at least $12 to start. It was one of the most expensive roller coasters I've ever built. And hopefully it draws some people in. We really need it to try and recoup that money and to try and lighten the load on the go-kart track. The thing I haven't done just yet is put in benches and garbage cans. And this ride's pretty nauseating, so definitely want some benches right off of the exit, as close as we can get them. And it's not a bad place to sit, so more benches in here the better. Oh, the people, they are rolling in. They are excited about this ride. Yeah, I think this is gonna help this issue a bunch. Like, what did all you guys just... Oh, they ran out of money. Well, that's fine. That works out. And I need to go in there and change the rosters to include this bit. Most importantly, the mechanic one. Staff rosters, and this is the mechanic side 2. Yeah, side 2 mechanics. That's right, because I'm an idiot. All right, so we will add that ride into that roster. And then Rally X, I guess I'm going to include this bit in that as well. So that should have the janitors over there. I'll have to keep an eye on it. Alright, so we're back up to $27,000. The park's doing very well. I would say the park is actually nearing completion in the way that, well, like I said, it is starting to get to the point where I'm averaging about 20 frames per second in the game all of a sudden. And even though we haven't filled all the space, I think it is really cohesively working as a themed park, like it's a theme park or something. So I'm pretty proud of that. But we, like I said, have a few little touch-ups here and there to do. So I researched a new family ride at some point. Yeah, it was Hyperspin. With a 2.2 excitement, 2 fear, and 250 nausea. That's pretty lousy scores, huh? Well, I guess all of these are going to be of that kind. Well, we gotta have some family-friendly rides around here, so I guess I'll go ahead and put it in. It's cheap, and it shouldn't cost us too much to run either. So I'll sit that down right there. We'll just make a short little entrance and exit. Connect the paths. That should be more than enough. Awesomely, it's already using this scenery for its rating. Oh, we don't want Q, we want exit. Ooh, noodle, 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 noodle. Very dramatic noodles, there we go. 10 frames per second noodles. And we don't really need a test, we can just go ahead and open that. And Spin is open. There we go. Does it need like scenery ratings or whatever? I don't think it really does. I don't think any of these really seem to care what their scenery rating is. Alright, one of these has gone. It seems like, yep, there it comes. And nobody died. So I'm gonna say that's a success. I have low expectations. Was anybody even on there? One guy got to ride on that ride solo. Well, let's get his review. I would like to know what this gentleman thinks. Come on, get out of there. That's a pretty cool maneuver you just did. I bet you didn't have to queue very long. He's very thirsty, and that is... Oh, well, he's headed to the Gulpy Slush 28 via the train. So yeah, let's definitely get a drink shop over here. Let's do that right now. Let's do a soda place, and let's do it right here. You know, there's probably enough room over here for yet another little ride. We could do that. And let me make sure I have trash cans around that. I've learned my lesson. People are jerks and they leave their litter everywhere. What was your problem? Why are you so down? What's the matter, guy? Outside your price range? Oh. Well, there's an ATM over there, guy. What do you want from me? Hey, we got a new research project to reveal. I've been doing a little bit of that here and there when I can. The Sundial Thrill Ride. Hey, there's another ride to go over here, like I had wanted. There's new research available. Great machinations? Is that's not a word. That's not a word. I don't know how to say that. Also, what was the other thing? There was something else I wanted to touch on. What was it? Oh, there's a new challenge available. 8750 from Coasters. That might happen here. And a new pickpocket rate challenge. 5% for 3 months. I am trying my best there. That's a toughie. We are doing just fine on money income. We're up to 36,000 again already. We're up to 4,600 people in the park. Things are going pretty well at the moment. I'm surprised Finland Fling looks this plain. Hey, I'm surprised you don't know what a good ride looks like, you jerk. Jerk. Alright, so far this has had 0 riders, I bet. 0. Not a single person. Maybe what I need to do for rides like this is change some of my marketing scheming to be more family oriented. Marketing. Yeah, let's do a new marketing thing. Let's get rid of the gulpy videos. And let's do family hour. Yeah. Well, that's a commercial. Let's do low impact, attract more families, ideal for smaller parks. Yeah, what the hell? What could go wrong, right? Everything. We'll not renew that one. We'll just do that one for 30 days and see what happens. And since we do have $37,000 now, let's go ahead and throw in that new thrill ride over here. That one was the sun something? Sundial, yeah. It's pretty small, isn't it? No, that's actually quite large. Will it even fit over here? I think I saw one tiny little spot it'll fit. Brilliant. I'm gonna go ahead and spruce up this place a little bit more. There we go, some nice thick forests right around that ride. And maybe... no, I think the Q rating was just fine for this. There's just no interested parties. That is the problem. And you need to be opened. What time is it? I don't know. Maybe this ride will tell us. Bunch of new benches around here. How's this place doing? It seems like quite a few takers. Vandalism. People breaking my trash cans. How dare they? So the hope was that this new ride over here would reduce the pressure on the go-kart track. I don't know if it's really doing that, but it has brought an even larger buttload of people into this area. That is for sure. And one other thing is for sure. We're kicking out these stupid thieves. That is for sure. But also, Dino Pull, it ain't cutting it. There's one dude in line right now, or 2 people. It's just not working out. $42,000 currently in our bank total. Is there a ton of people entering? There is. There's a ton of people entering the park. Makes me nervous once again. We're over 5,000 people here in the park. It's doing quite well, despite the fact that some viewers, Gem Knight, think that my park isn't quite realistic. It might not be, but it's doing quite well indeed. And I realistically am about to delete Dino Pull. It's gone. Floaty people, oh, that didn't last very long. It is out of here. Really, I would like to put it, or its replacement ride right in here, but it might not fit. So the hope here is to change Dino Pull into a racing coaster. So having 2 identical rides right next to each other, racing each other. Well, maybe not identical, but at least 2 racing each other. Alright, here we go. I've spent many hours designing a ride to replace the Dino Pull, And I actually came up with a roller coaster theme that fits the RallyX area. It has cost me a lot of money and spent a lot of time that I've neglected on my park. However, I'm pretty pleased with the result. So without further ado, I present to you RallyX and RallyX Joker. So this is dueling coasters of that same design. I had the intention of making them as symmetrical as I could possibly make them. However, the edge of the park encroached on the area I had available and made this one a little bit different shaped. But they do indeed race each other, and they are pretty close in timing. I could probably do a little bit more work getting them to be synchronized even better. But I'm not displeased. They're pretty close. This one finishes just a little bit ahead. Like I said, a little bit more trim break here and there, and I could probably get them better matched up. But overall, I think it looks pretty cool. I've yet to ride either one of them, so I'm excited to see what they look like. And this may be kind of the grand finale for roller coaster designs of this park. I may record one more episode where we go over the park in kind of fine-tooth comb it and give it a nice cap, a nice finishing touch. But seeing as how we're already down to 15 frames per second now, there's probably not too much more I can do in this park that my computer can handle. And I'm not displeased. I am quite happy with how things have turned out. Let's go ahead and ride this one. Oh, it looks cool. That looks really cool. Launching up the hill here up to 60 miles an hour. Let's see, do we actually see the other track at all? Yeah, a little bit. Go through a loop there. And I'm hoping you don't really know where the other car is until you get right to the end here. Oh, you can't actually see it at all. Maybe you could from the other car. Alright, well, still effective. I really like this. Like, that view right there is phenomenal. I love that. That is great. Yeah, if I were to make a change, I think I would make another point where you look at each other as you're racing, but other than that, yeah, like I said, not displeased. I think that's pretty cool. This is one of my favorite type of coasters to design. The racing ones, shocker, I'm sure. And it was actually a lot of fun, even though it took a lot of time. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and open these up and make us some money. And hopefully these are more popular than the dyno pole that they're replacing. Let's see, it's a 672, a 405, and a 252, so it's a little bit fearsome, but it's green across the board. What was this one? That's under this. 686, 424, 293. So 686 versus 672. This one's actually a little bit more exciting. But they're pretty close. Pretty close. And then scenery-wise, I mean, it has a 100 Q. This one actually needs some work on the Q stuff. Not a big deal. I can work on that. Like I said, we're going to do one more episode where we kind of cap off and finish off the park. And then that will be that. But I want to thank you all for watching. And I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you like this roller coaster design. It's one of my favorites. And I will see you next time.